All right, hi everybody. Welcome to another video. Today I'm talking about some of the books that I'm most excited to read that are coming out in 2023. I've gone through my list of everything that I'm really excited for. I've narrowed it down to 10. This is not extensive. There's a lot more that I'm also very excited for. But these are just a few that I wanted to talk about. Obviously, the first ones I'm going to mention Day of Fallen Night, The Late Americans. There's a few that are on everyone's list, so I'm just going to skip right through those ones. The other thing I want to mention off the top is that the Harper Collins union is still on strike. Things are not going so well, at least this week that I'm recording. So I'm not mentioning any books being published by Harper Collins on this list. I'm not going to give them any promotion until their conflict is resolved amicably. And I'm going to leave a link in the description for ways you can support the striking workers. All right, I'm going to start with a couple books that I've actually already read. I was lucky enough to get some advanced copies. So the first one is Open Throat by Henry Hoke. Maybe Hokey, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm really excited for more people to read this book. This is a book that's written almost poetically, very sparse, about a mountain lion who lives in the Hollywood Hills and kind of protects a community of people experiencing homelessness. It's a big queer allegory. It's about found family and identity, and it was so good. It was like stunning, like one of the best books I've read in months, if not years. I'm so excited for more people to read this book. It's just stunning. The other one is YN by Esther Yee, which stands for Your Name, which is a term used in fan fiction where you kind of insert your own, like the reader's name as the protagonist. It makes sense if you read the book. So I'm really excited for that one too. It's all about a fan of a K-pop artist who takes things a bit too far. It's all about kind of parasocial relationships, fan culture, and it gets absolutely bonkers in the best way. I loved this book so much. A lot like The Idiot, a lot like some other contemporary narratives, but just like taken up to the next extreme and in a very smart way. It's not just crazy and goofy for the sake of it. This next book actually came out this week, but I haven't read it yet. It's I Keep My Exoskeletons to Myself by Marissa Crane. This is kind of a alternate history kind of dystopia light book from what I understand. Basically in this alternate world, it's basically exactly like our world now, except instead of going to jail if you commit a crime, you get another shadow. So it's basically like a warning to people around you that you've been convicted of a crime. So this is about some queer characters navigating this world. And I was a bit kind of like, I'm not sure. This might be good. This might not be. I'm not like super excited about it. But then the early reviews and blurbs compared this to Sheila Heti and Ocean Vuong, which was like not really expected for this kind of book, but I'm excited to read it. This is like next on my list to buy. The next book is Playhouse by Richard Bosch. This comes out on Valentine's Day, so not too far away, and it is about a community theater. From what I understand, it's all about a production of King Lear, and things kind of go wrong behind the scenes. I love a good behind the scenes story. I love a good theater book. So I'm just really excited for this. I think it's going to be fun and goofy, and I have a lot of kind of more dense books lined up to read next. So I think a very like plotty book about theater is just going to be what I need by the time we get to the middle of February. Next we have Monstrilio by Gerardo Samano Cordova. This is kind of a spooky debut that is getting really great early reviews. This comes out March 7th. It's about a grieving mother who cuts out some organs from her deceased son and creates a monster from it. So it's kind of like a Neo Frankenstein situation. A lot about parenthood, a lot about kind of grief. And the cover is so cool. So I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be a great book. Yeah, I can't wait to read it. Also on March 7th, we have The Fifth Wound by Aurora Matia. This is described as a Baroque work of intimate myth exploring one woman's interdimensional search for beauty and embodiment through kaleidoscope renderings of hospital corridors, brutal breakups, and a passionate romance. So this seems very trippy. It's talking about time travel, medieval nuns, murder. Apparently there's a lot about transness and queerness and found family in this one as well. So I am so excited for whatever is in store for this book. Like, it just seems bonkers. And I think that's kind of what I'm looking for this year, is just more leaning into the weird in a way that makes you like think. I'm ready for more heady books, but also fun. So the next book is Brother and Sister Enter the Forest by Richard Mirabella. This is another debut, and this comes out on March 14th by Catapult. And this is described as like a queer coming-of-age story about a brother and sister, but it's supposedly written kind of like a fairy tale or kind of dreamy. So I'm really excited to learn more about this book. It just seems like it's about heavy topics, but in an interesting way. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. The Guest by Emma Cline. I don't think this comes out until the summer, but I already have an arc of it that I'm really excited to read. This is very buzzy. I haven't read any Emma Cline before, but I do have a copy of Daddy, which is her collection of short stories. And I'm excited to read that. This book is a young woman pretends to be someone she isn't in this stunning novel by New York Times bestselling author of The Girls. Summer is coming to a close on the east end of Long Island, and Alex is no longer welcome. A misstep at a dinner party, and the older man she's been staying with dismisses her with a ride to the train station and a ticket back to the city. So it seems kind of like a false identity scam journey, which I'm all about. I love a scammer in the city. More of that, please. And yeah, I'm just excited to read this book, and I'm probably going to read it really soon. Not to rub it in. I do have an arc for this next book as well. It's Small Worlds by Caleb Azuma Nelson. This is the author who kind of exploded onto Book Talk a while ago with Open Water, which was a really beautiful, quick love story that I really loved when I read it last year. So I'm really excited for this next one. It seems kind of along the same vein. Yeah, it's about a young man named Steven who is kind of dealing with a love story of his own, but a lot more of this book seems to be about family and heritage and tradition. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm about 20% of the way through this one right now. It comes out May 11th. But yeah, I'll give a review when I'm done this book, because I'll definitely be finished. I'm going to do a end of the month recap for sure. And yeah, I think I'm excited for more people to read this one as well. The last book, Open Water, just exploded onto the scene. Like, everyone read it. I think everyone loved it. I think for the most part it got positive reviews. So I'm really looking forward to getting further into this new one. Okay, these last two are not coming out until later on in the year, so there's not as much information about them. Eliza Clark, Penance. This comes out in July, and I'm really excited for this one. Eliza Clark wrote Boy Parts, which was a book that I liked, but I didn't love. It took some things in directions that I wasn't really a fan of, but for the most part, I did really enjoy that one. But this new one seems right up my alley. It's all about a true crime podcast and kind of taking down that genre and kind of the fandom surrounding murder mysteries in general. And I think that this kind of story is going to be right up Eliza Clark's alley. Like, this is perfect for her to be writing about. It's kind of a mystery of how much of what is being said in this true crime podcast is true and how much is made up for entertainment value. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to talk about this book. This feels like something I'm going to want to like be in a book club talking about. So any of you people out there running book clubs, pick this book in July and I'll sign up with you. And the last one I have is Family Meal by Brian Washington. Brian Washington wrote a book that I read a year or two ago called Memorial that I really, really liked. It was a beautiful story about a queer relationship, and there's so much nuance and depth to those characters that you don't really see in the genre. I feel like a lot of romances between two men are either focused on tragedy or made to be like as light and fluffy as possible to appeal to kind of a straight audience. And I found that Memorial really felt honest and true, and there was flaws, but not like, you know, murder and abuse and all of the drama. So I'm excited for Family Meal. We have no idea what this book is about. There's no description or anything. It comes out in October. So, you know, more details to come, but I can't wait. Anyway, those are just some of the books that I'm most excited for that are coming out in 2023 that we know about so far, because I'm sure more will be announced, or there's more that I just haven't heard of yet. And yeah, I can't wait. I think this is going to be a great reading year. I'm already off to such a great start. I've read 10 books so far this year, and I really loved all of them. I feel like last year I didn't really love a lot of books that I was reading, and it kind of put me in this giant reading slump. But so far, I'm so excited about every single book that I've read, and I can't wait to talk more about them. And I can't wait to read more. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what books you're excited for that are coming out in 2023 and what kind of videos you want to see from me in 2023. And I will talk to you again really soon. I think I'm going to do a bookshelf tour soon. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.